What up YouTube, it's Missouri, it's Company. In this video, we're going to give you the ultimate fishing guide. Fishing just came to the game yesterday by the time you were watching this, and it's actually a really great addition of the game for a couple reasons. So we finally have a mobile game within Diablo Immortal, and what I mean by that is mobile games typically aren't something that require your 100% attention the whole time. Diablo Immortal is not like that, and that's one of the reasons why I like it. But it is also nice to be able to be productive without having to be like mega focused or like sweaty in the game. So this gives us that aspect. You actually get a decent amount of dust as well as gold and other things just for doing this. So if you're like, at work or, doing something where or watching a movie or doing whatever, where you can't 100% focus on the game, this is a great way of getting rewards while basically doing nothing. So I think this is a great addition to the game. I'm going to show you from beginning to end everything that you have to know about the new fishing mechanics within Diablo Immortal. And without further ado, let's get straight to it. Okay, so first things first, once you hit level 43 within the game, within Diablo Immortal, you are going to want to go ahead and go to Biofin. You're going to want to come right over here to the bridge, right next to what's called, the northern wetlands. You want to go just south of that. All right, as you can see, everyone and their mom is currently fishing. You can see there's actually also some aesthetically different looking poles, which we'll talk about in a little bit. As you might imagine, they come in all sorts of shapes and sizes.
Oh! Ew! Dude! What the fuck?
But yeah, so you want to come over here to Marinix, talk to the fisherman. He's a fisher, and you are going to start your quest. Super easy, shows you how to fish. And also, while you're talking to him, there's only 3 areas that actually have the ability of fishing, and that is in Biofin. What are the other 2? The other one is in the Ashwood cemetery, as well as the frozen tundra. So anyway, those are the 3 areas you can do it. The reason that's important is that you're going to be able to catch certain fish in all 3 areas. So in order to max out your bestiary, you are going to want to make sure you fish in all 3 areas, which we'll talk about here in a second. Okay, so what you're going to do is you're going to go ahead and hit 5 on PC, hold it down, move it around. You can fish wherever you want. It doesn't really matter, I'm going to be honest, where you put it. So you can just click it wherever or release. And then boom, you start fishing. You can see there's 3 different colors of fish here. So the first section is gray, then blue, and then gold. Obviously, the later you go, the longer you hold out on fishing, the better chance you get at these higher levels or higher rarity. And speaking of different rarities, there is common, uncommon, rare, and mythic fish, all of which give you different rewards when you trade them in and or sell them essentially, which is actually pretty cool. And then, so when you get to these different indicators, you are not going to want to just farm all of gold because, like I said, there's a bestiary for fishing, which will actually give you very unique rewards. But you'll know that it's time to catch a fish because this section up here will actually light up. And one thing I thought was pretty cool is that no matter what you do or what screen you're on, it shows you still right up here. So you can still see where now I've caught a fish. I'll go and click it. Now we go through this little mini game of keeping it within the green. It moves a little bit. Now I will say that the selection screen is a lot smaller when you go up to the higher rarities of fish. So you do actually have to pay attention with that. And then boom, we caught a fish. It showed us what it was. And then this is obviously the fish that we caught. So it shows you the weight. And there is a nice little, we'll show you in a second, the bestiary rather, where it actually shows you like the highest or the largest fish that was caught of that type for the server, which is actually pretty cool. So we're gonna go ahead and cast it again. And then, so like I said, the longer you wait, there's a few different things that happen. So you do progress with the ability of getting rarer fish. So I was in this first little third here, and that's when I got the common, or I guess at that point, yeah, it was a common fish. And then you can get uncommon, rare, and then mythic, which is the purple one, which is actually pretty cool. So up here, you can actually still catch. When it gets into the red, it's just warning you that time's about to basically escape or like time out. You can actually still catch a goldfish or a fish in this area as well. Just a make note of that. You don't have to stop it just before this. But like they said in the patch notes, which I did cover, the longer you hold it, the higher probability you get of getting a stronger fish. So here we are. A fish is nibbling at the nibbling at the bait, if you will. And I'm actually going to lose the bait by not catching the fish. Well, I'll show you right here. So it pops up. I had 60. I'm now down to 59. So because I chose to not catch the fish won, ate the bait, and left. So now I am getting ready to progress into the blue section right here. So now I will catch a rare fish or a rarer fish. I'm going to go ahead and just for the sake of the video, let this go all the way to the gold section so we can see what we get. And then I will show you at the fisher where you can trade in your fish and see what kind of good stuff you get. Because it actually is, again, not better than farming. It's definitely not going to be better than farming. Nothing would be better than farming or overworld farming or dungeon farming. But this is a great thing to do that's passive. In addition to that, you can hold up to 99. Again, I'm about to lose some more bait because another fish is eating at my eating my bait. But at the fisher, you can also buy more bait, which you can hold a max of 99 baits or bait for. It costs about 20k. I think it's like 19,800 in order to max out your bait. That's not super. It's not like expensive at all, especially when you do get gold for doing this anyway. You're not always gonna break even. In fact, you are gonna progressively lose gold, but it's so incremental. You can, if you don't have a lot of gold, like you can certainly make up 20k gold pretty quickly. I have not bought, like I've not done the gear gambling in a while, so I've been getting a ton of gold recently and just kind of sitting on it. There's my guy. Also, if you're curious, I'm sitting around 11,316 for my combat rating. Nice little increase there. So we're almost there. Oh, another thing I thought was phenomenal is that the fishing tasks actually give you battle points, which is super awesome. I love that for us. All right, so right here you can see I caught a fish, or I have the ability of catching a fish. Oh, it's not gonna do it. But if you were to catch it right here just before the blue, before the line, and then it progresses into gold, it would still be the blue level fish. It's wherever it starts to be catchable on which side of the line is what you're able to catch. That's really important to know. All right, so here we are. Next time I get a bite, I will try to catch the fish, and I will show you the smaller window in which that you have to try to catch it. And then from there, we'll progress on to some of the rewards in the bestiary. I say bestiary all the time, but it's bestiary, but whatever. And yeah, then we'll talk about some of the rewards you can get. And like I said, you can see I have a different rod compared to some of the other people. This is the normal one, this like wooden looking one. This silver one, along with what I'm using, is the I guess tier 2 version you could call it. And there is a legendary version, and we'll talk about how to get those momentarily whenever I get a fish that bites. Oh, here we go. Boom. And then so as you can see, it is much smaller and it moves much quicker. So you just click it. Every time you click, it goes up a little bit. So as it drops, you don't want to click, and then vice versa. And then boom, caught a fish. All right, so boom, let's go ahead and trade it in. So again, if you wanted to shop, that's how you buy bait. Only common bait available at the moment. This obviously gives them the ability of adding different types of bait, maybe even a pay to win type of bait. I don't know, but I'm gonna go ahead and max this out real quick. Go to like, boom, and then it tells you what the max is. Boom, more bait, costs you close to nothing. But then if you want to go and do your fish trading, you can select all your fish. Now, I had a mythic fish that I turned in that got me a lot of loot. So you do get a non-trivial amount of XP when you turn in a ton of higher rarity fish. You do get it's an okay amount of gold. It's what, 1.5k. This does not mean a guaranteed legendary. I've already seen videos where that has been told incorrectly. This is just guaranteed loot of different rarities. So it has a chance of being legendary. It's important to read. I know we associate this sort of color palette as a guaranteed legendary. That's not what it is. It really probably should have been, well, whatever. It's similar to like the challenge rifts, where at the every 5 intervals you do, or towards the end, every 5 intervals, you get a chance of getting a legendary. Very similar here. But more importantly, you do get the beguiling dust, which you do get a ton. I mean, this was actually a really nice way of getting dust, which I will definitely be using. So boom, exchange, and then that is that. So really quickly, I'm going to show you guys the other 2 sections, or 2 fishing opportunities, and then we'll go into some of the rewards. You are going to want to make sure you watch this because there is actually a legendary fish, or because there actually is a legendary pole available, which you're going to want to get. So let's go to the cemetery next. This one's actually kind of my favorite, and this is for kind of a dumb reason. So you come over here, and everything looks exactly the same. So you cannot fish just openly wherever you want. You do have to be fishing in one of these select areas. Okay, so here we are at the Ashwold Cemetery. So as you can see, there's actually 2 different fishing opportunities here. You can fish off the cliff, and this is where the fisher is, and then you can also fish off of the dock. So pretty nice fishing opportunities here. This is actually probably one of my favorite spots to sit because it is like sort of darker. So when I'm laying in bed or watching a movie, it's not like super bright like this next one is. But if you care about aesthetics while you're fishing, that'd be kind of cool. I also wish there was one in Storm Point. I feel like this was a massively missed opportunity. I mean, considering this is like all water, I felt like that should have been like another reason to go to the new zone. Nah. But again, I'm not complaining. This was a phenomenal update, and I like most everything that came to the game, and I'll be making videos on all of it to sort of showcase the ins and outs. All right, so this last spot is in a frozen tundra, the tundra, and you're gonna go right down here above the abandoned village. Now they did make note that when you're fishing, you are, I guess, like immortal in the way of like you can't die, you won't get threat from beast. So, but if you bring a beast with you, that can kill you. And I have already seen people trying to like kill other players by pulling beasts or monsters to them, and I personally have not died to that, nor do I think you can. So this is the last one right up here in the frozen tundra. Again, you can fish from either side. Pretty cool stuff. Now, we talked about some of the rewards you can get, so let's go ahead and look at that. So if you go to your bestiary, go down to the fishing emblem right here, you can see all, there's 40 different species of fish, which is why, again, like I mentioned earlier in the video, you are going to want to make sure you fish in in all three sections of common, rare, and then, the gray, the blue, and then the rare one, the gold one. Because there's several fish available that you're going to want to catch, both common, and then you can see the different, so the best angler is the highest weight. That's towards the bottom here. It's just kind of a nice little flex. I don't think I have any. Wow, actually, Darrow's in my alliance. That's cool. Let's see if I have any. I don't think I have a record yet. Not that I've noticed, at least. Dryman. I probably should have done this before I started recording, but now I'm curious. Nope, I don't have any. Shame on me. But anyway, so going back here in the beginning, so the reason this actually matters at all is that if you click on this chest, there actually is decent rewards. You get a non-trivial amount of gold as you progress, as well as one flowing shard and then some scraps, which are always great. But once you get to 15 is when you unlock your silver rod. Now, everyone wants a shinier, stronger, bigger rod. It's just how life goes, both in and out of Diablo Immortal. So get you a silver rod just from getting 15 different species of fish. Quick little tip or trick, if you will, to get more of these faster, just to fish at all three spots as quickly as possible. I got all 15 species very, very quickly by doing that. And then there is a legendary golden rod once you get 35 out of the 40. Which looks pretty cool. I am kind of curious how much different it'll look than the basic rod, because the basic rod does, at least from the images, look somewhat similar, unfortunately. So hopefully it's like shiny or something. So here's the basic one. Here's the silver one, and then you saw the gold one. So I hope the wood doesn't take away from how close it is to the legendary one. I really hope the legendary one, like I said, it would be really cool if it like shines and like is legendary. I haven't seen a video or pictures of anyone unlocking it yet, but honestly, I think this was a huge W within Diablo Immortal. I'm really glad they added this. And I guess to most people now it is officially considered a MMORPG because there's fishing. I've seen some negativity around fishing already, and keep in mind, guys, like if you don't want to do it, you don't have to. To me, I love the fact that there is something passive that I can do that's still productive to my character. That's a huge W in my book. And there's some cosmetics that are fun. And if they wanted to add a cosmetic that's like purchasable, like a seat or a cooler, like I think that would be really cool. And I think a lot of people would support the idea of like purchasing a cosmetic for something like this, where you either look cool, scary, or funny. Like I think I would even get behind that. And that is a more common and widely accepted form of purchasing within a mobile game is truly aesthetics. So I do think that would win a lot of people over. That's just my thoughts. Let me know what you guys think about fishing in the comments below. This is a full breakdown. Like I said, this is from beginning to end, how you fish, why you should do it, and everything you needed to know in between. I hope this video was helpful. If it was, smash the like button. And until next time, guys, lock it in.